Hello, greetings. Welcome, everybody. We are so glad that you join us this evening. And it's World No Tobacco Day commemorated all around the world. And you know, we put out the flyers, you've been seeing hashtags everywhere, and you've been wondering, what do we need to know? I mean, we said tobacco exposed. What are we really exposing about tobacco? And how this affects young people? So many very interesting concerns you are going to learn today. And once again, you can tell your friends, you can just spread the link around because it promises to be a very awesome time exposing tobacco. Okay, today we have very interesting persons here. Don't forget, this is hosted by the Center for Health and Substance Abuse Prevention, CHEASAP. Please join me, say welcome to Dr. Eniola Cadmus. Thank you so much, Bob, for joining us. And that's also Mr. Seye Omiyefa. Thank you so much, sir. And first of all, I'll introduce our guest here today, Dr. Eniola Cadmus, and I'll be reading to you about her. So, keep your ears attentive. She's a very interesting personality. For those of you who know her, I'm going to read to you a few things about her. Dr. Olubukola Cadmus Eniola is a consultant community physician in the Department of Community Medicine in the University College Hospital and lectures in the College of Medicine in the University of Ibadan. She is a tobacco control advocate with specialized interest in tobacco. She has an MPH from the University of Pretoria and a certificate of tobacco control from Johns Hopkins University, Baltimore, United States of America. And join me, say a resounding welcome to Dr. Eniola Cadmus.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and let me proceed to our wonderful host, Mr. Seye Omiyefa, and I'll tell you a few things about him, so you also want to take note of who this interesting person is. Mr. Seye Omiyefa is a drug demand reduction expert and tobacco control advocate for over 16 years, with over 16 years of experience, and he is currently the executive director of the Center for Health and Substance Abuse Prevention, CHEASAP. He has key experiences in legislative advocacy, tobacco control education, communication, training, and public awareness. Prevention of substance use among targeted, indicated, and selected groups, apart from being a past secretary of the Nigeria Tobacco Control Alliance, that is NTCA. Also, he is the chairman of the Industry Monitoring Committee, and he is a seasoned facilitator and trainer with strong leadership capacity in advocacy, counseling, research, behavioral change, communication, and influencing policy direction. Lastly, he has served a 3-year term at the West Africa Coordinating Committee on Global Youth Action on Tobacco, GYAT. And that is the team, a coalition of more than 30 countries formed at the 13th World Conference on Tobacco, OR, held Washington, D.C. In the United States of America. He's currently a global lead and facilitator of a global committee, and he has also, served as a resource person in many local and international organizations. He's a national trainer of Colombo Plan and International Society of Substance Use Professional, ISSUP, and state coordinator of ISSUP or your state chapter. That is remarkable. Please join me, say welcome to Mr. Seye Omiyefa.
Thank you very much, Shalom.
I really know all these things. I mean, it's really a great one.
Thank you very much, Shalom. It's nice to have everyone join us today. Thank you. A very special thank you to Dr. Eniola Cadmus. You guys, she is very busy, and for her to be here today, I want to say a very big thank you to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's good to have you here. And also to Shalom Fudoka. I know, when somebody is trying to present, you hardly know about them. So I'm going to read a little thing about Shalom to you. Nwaboku Udoka Shalom is a media presenter, environmental health, public health postgrad, and he is a youth speaker and a CHEASAP lead advocate also. And that's why you can see him as a lead advocate in CHEASAP here. He's passionate about youth well-being and inspires them in developmental directions through his various engagements. He has reached youth via media since 2015 and also began as an environmental health speaker in 2017. He's a wonderful person and he has a wonderful personality. He has worked tirelessly to make sure that all our interventions, all our programs in CHEASAP works perfectly well. So Shalom, please join me, say welcome to Shalom as well.
It's a lot. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, sir.
All right, I think we're just going to start right now, not to bore you with all our introductions. All right. First of all, let me thank all of you for joining us today. I can see some people watching us even from Lagos, Abuja, and around the world. I want to say thank you for joining this special World No Tobacco Day broadcast here from Center for Health and Substance Abuse Prevention. Let me throw the first question. I know Dr. Eniola is our special guest, but I want to throw the first question to the house. Today is going to be interesting because we're just going to be discussing, we're going to be chatting together and look at ways we can prevent tobacco industry from manipulating our youth to consume their product. All right, so why do youth smoke to start with? Why do they even smoke to start with? Why do they smoke?
You know, I feel like this is a very interesting question. I mean, you can start putting up your comments. I think we're going to take a look at them. Very interestingly, smoking is habitual, and like many other bad habits or detrimental habits, it has a way of, you know, being intertwined with peer pressure, or rather being caused by peer pressure. So I feel like sometimes, whether or not something, I normally say enjoyment is a choice, and enjoyment is a learned behavior for the large part. So once you start approaching adulthood, some of the things you say you enjoy, it's not because it's necessarily interesting in itself, but because of that peer influence from other people.
All right, thank you, Shalom. I don't know.
All right, before you move on, the first thing you should realize is that youth, you know, it starts from adolescents, young adults, and everything. It's a period of exploration. You know, we've all been through it. In fact, now when I look at my children doing some things, I laugh because it's just a period. There are many things going on in your physiology, in your psychology. You're no longer a child, yet you're not an adult, and so you want to explore, you want to protest. You know, you tell me something is wrong, but why? And unfortunately, we haven't done so much about telling them why. And that's why I'm so happy to be here today, because if you know the reason why, then you're more likely not to do it. If you tell a 3-year-old, don't touch that fire, if you don't tell her why, she will touch it one day and you end up in a casualty. You know, so I'm happy we're having this conversation. So apart from the exploratory nature of the adolescents, you mentioned peer pressure, and so many other things, and especially with tobacco, you have the targeted influence, targeted strategies. You know, there's nothing like being targeted for something. I'm sure men can say when a woman targets you, you're in trouble. When the industry targets the youth, they are in trouble.
Serious trouble, serious trouble.
Yes.
From research and most of the information we've gathered, we know that tobacco industry deliberately targets children and youth in order to lure them to start smoking. So we know this is not just one of the guesses or speculations. We know, and we have studies that have proven that over time too. All right. So with what is going on in the society right now, you know, a lot of youth, they don't really know what is in that stick of cigarette. Let's start with cigarette. You know, cigarette is just one of the tobacco products. What is in that stick of cigarette? You know, a lot of people are like, this cigarette, there's nothing there. What they see is tobacco, smokers are not able to carry on, and all of that. They just like, well, there's nothing there. But I think we need to let everybody know what is in that stick of cigarette. I know that there are over 7,000 chemicals in just a stick of cigarette, with 60 of them known to be carcinogenic. Yeah, exactly. But what other things do we have in that stick of cigarette, and how dangerous are they to both children's health and to our health generally?
All right, so I'm happy that you asked that question, because if you know what you're putting into yourself, then you would wonder how anybody in their right mind would do that. Like you said, it contains a lot of substances known to cause cancer. It contains additives, you know, all the preservatives they use in the manufacturing process. So you can imagine purposefully taking in formaldehyde, for instance. That's what you use to preserve dead bodies. So why would I buy it with my money, use my hands, and put it into my body, you know? It contains all sorts of gases, other chemicals, gasoline, name it, it contains it. In fact, there's a compendium, there's a picture, and it's visible online. I wish we could show it right now. Like you said, over 7,000 chemicals, things that you would wonder why anybody would approach the product.
Thank you very much for that. And to add to that, see, this stick of cigarette, do not let the tobacco industry deceive you at all. Because in just a single puff, like we said, there are over 7,000 chemicals there, including arsenic. Arsenic has the component that is used in rat poison. You know, so when you see in this southwestern part of Nigeria, you will see a lot of people, they buy a particular substance that when they throw in their house kills rats. That component that they use in that is also included in every stick of cigarette. There is another one called ammonia. Ammonia is used as a toilet, cleaner. That part of ingredient you use to clean toilet. You know, like Dr. Nella has mentioned, Dr. Cadmus has mentioned some of those things. There is also polonium-210. Polonium-210 is a highly radioactive element. There is tar. I'm sure we all know tar.
Yes.
And there is toluene. There is acetone. We have lots of them. Like, just to mention a few. How would somebody know all these things and still want to smoke a stick of cigarette? It is because they don't know what is in that stick of cigarette and every puff. Exactly. They don't know. So, and that is why we want everybody to know what is exactly in that stick of cigarette. You may want to add something to that, Shalo.
Yes, an interesting subject. We are looking at the fact that, like you said, some of these people, especially young people out there, they do not know, they just follow the trends, they latch on, forgetting that for these producers, this is business to them. I mean, you're looking at the nation, Nigeria, where we were talking about this from, as whatever 60% of young people. So it's not mistaken. I mean, this is business for them. So irrespective of the health effects, they are promoting this thing. You look at the fact that the lungs are in very great danger. Apart from just broadly the cancers now, lungs are in great danger. And during the process of smoking, of course, normally you're burning all this carbon into your system. You know, and that in itself alone, even if there was no bad ingredient, I mean, that is a lot of risk in itself to somebody who is smoking. And then the normal tobacco that we're talking about, I mean, very soon we're going to go in depth talking about tobacco. It's really detrimental for you to keep taking that, considering the volumes and the detrimental health effects to the body.
Thank you very much. And yet, Dr. Cadmus, you know, we know that there are multiple health issues associated with smoking. Can you share some of the diseases associated with smoking with us?
I love that question, and I'd like to paint a scenario. If you can imagine somebody standing in front of you, start from the head. Tobacco affects every single organ in the body.
Wow.
The hair causes hair loss, and you know how much we spend to keep our hair full. If you go to the eyes, it can cause cataract. If you go to the nose, it can cause sinusitis. It can cause cancer. It can cause cancer in every system of the body. So let's just get that straight. It can exacerbate your asthma. That means if you were predisposed or you're already living with the condition, it can make it worse. Then you go into the body, the cavity itself. It can cause gastrointestinal cancers. It can cause chronic obstructive disease. It can even go as far as the respiratory, the reproductive organs. You know, everybody knows about the lungs, everybody knows about the lungs, but nobody is talking about the reproductive organs. I'm sure many of you have realized that in recent times we're having higher prevalence of infertility. Think about it. think about it. Tobacco or nicotine affects tobacco use, especially as it contains nicotine, and we'll talk more about that. It can affect the reproductive organs. It can affect even halitosis, that's smelly mouth. Nobody wants to sit beside anybody that has halitosis. And thank God for social distancing. At least that way we have an excuse. But you can imagine you're sitting beside somebody and the mouth is booming. You know, people try to cover up the smell. You find them always with tom-tom, always with buttermilk, but it doesn't. It damages your teeth. It discolors your teeth, discolors the sclera of your eyes, discolors your buccal mucosa. I'm sorry, I hope I'm not going too medical, but I try to break it down. You know, so tobacco can affect every single aspect of your body. And if only you know, then you know that you shouldn't use it. And you should avoid it at all costs.
Wow, that's a powerful one. That's a powerful one. How will you know that tobacco affects your body this way and still want to take the product? See, the tobacco industry knows how to disguise. They will not tell you all of this, but thankfully we have a doctor here who is able to break down all of this effect to us. And thank you very much. That was powerful. That was powerful. You know, in 2008, I witnessed something. Some of my friends, you know, went to a school just to sensitize them on the normal harmful effect of tobacco smoking. And when they got there, they realized that tobacco industry, British American Tobacco to be specific, they were already there distributing IVs to those students, inviting them for a secret party. Now some of my colleagues went there and saw that before you enter the hall, your admittance is a puff of cigarette. Now, that shows that what they are doing is to deceive you to start that habit of smoking. Can you tell us the new strategies that tobacco, because I know that you worked, you did a research, you were part of Nigeria Tobacco Research Group, and you did a research exposing tobacco industry and how they try to, you know, lure youth into smoking. Can you share a few of this info with us, and so that we go from there?
All right, thank you for that question. I'm a member of the Nigerian Tobacco Control Research Group, which is a very prestigious group, and we're involved in research carried out in Nigeria, all over Nigeria. We have advocates all over. And then recently, like you said, we had the TIME project, which was the acronym for Tobacco Industry Monitoring, Exposure and Discrediting. We carried out several layers of research, but a very important one that speaks so clearly to what we're doing today, trying to get our youth to understand that you're the next target, is that we carried out a survey to find out what are the strategies of the industry. And we found that, you know, there's I'm sure you've heard of the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. It's the first public health treaty in the world that addresses the tobacco pandemic. And it has specific guidelines and specifications. Now, we found out in the TIME project that despite the fact that the industry is not supposed to advertise in any way, and there are many ways they advertise. You can have a poster, you can have jingles, you can have souvenirs, and you know how crazy Nigerians are about a souvenir. So you can imagine having a key holder shaped in the form of a tobacco stick. In fact, recently, while we were walking about, we saw sweets shaped like cigarettes. We saw stores that were selling sweets, and beside it you had the tobacco, you know, different forms. And you know, all this tobacco has colorful packaging. And so a child, initially you send the child, don't buy biscuits, buys the biscuit, looks at that package. With time, you say, I want this. Yes. And later on in life, you'll be like, once I'm old enough, I'm going to try that thing. Yeah. You know, so they have many things. And then you have the tobacco industry giving traders umbrellas in the sun, you know, and then they have such vivid colors. So even the color, nothing done by the industry is chance. It's targeted. Take for instance yellow. The yellow for some of these companies. It makes you more compulsive. You want to approach it. Everybody knows when you see red and white.
That is also a form of advertising.
Yes.
Which has been banned.
It has been banned, but you still see the umbrellas.
Yes.
You still see the packaging. Some of them have deviated to clothing lines, and you know how trendy we are in Nigeria. You know, so you see some colors and you're like, wow, this is a beautiful color. But subtly underneath, you're advertising. You know, so there are many targeted strategies, even things like corporate social responsibility. You know, the industry says, oh, we're trying to help you and indigent students, you know, let's pay for their school fees. Can you imagine? And we've been approached even in the University of Ibadan and in many other universities. And luckily, with the leadership of Dr. Pelumi Adebi, who is the team lead, we have been able to guide higher institutions, you know, to recognize that this is a trap. Please don't fall for it. You know. So I can go on and on and on. Take for instance now, COVID. Can you imagine the tobacco industry donating ventilators? Okay, so is it to keep your clients alive to smoke so that they can die? Donating personal protective equipment. And you know the most vulnerable populations are in low and middle income countries. We have poor infrastructure, we have poor setups, you know. So this COVID, if you can imagine what COVID is doing in high income countries that we all look up to, then you should realize that low and middle income countries are not meant to donate. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely. That was powerful. Everything she has said is absolutely true. Yes, disgusting, but absolutely true. See, we also know that tobacco industry, you know, they are now using social media influencers to draw people. Exactly. So they use social media influencers to market their product, to smoke. Exactly. In fact, they do that online right now on Instagram,
if you see
on Twitter.
Most of their pages have people smoking. I mean, it's almost like they have not made any publicity without showing somebody that is smoking.
Yeah.
So they just make sure they push this out to also lure young people. So when you look at them, celebrities, they want to do as they do. I mean, this is such a big problem.
It is a big problem. And the shocking thing about this industry is that when they do that, they try as much as possible. You know, we have on the Nigerian Gun Control Act, you cannot, an underage cannot buy cigarettes. Of course, the implementation, we're still going to go there. But the shocking thing right now is that they find a way, like you have mentioned, to place their products close to where children goes to buy their sweets, so that when they see, they are targeting children. They are targeting children, and it is so disgusting. How can they go so low to target? Why? Let me even ask, why are they targeting these children?
Okay, so tobacco is the only product, if used as specified, it's the only product guaranteed to kill its users. So if you can imagine that if you start using tobacco now, you're going to die one way or the other.
Yes.
You will die. That's the aim. Now if you have a product that keeps on killing your customers, your consumers, you need to replace. And so if you capture a youth today, then depending on how much the individual smokes and the other conditions, that individual may smoke for nothing less than for up to 40 decades. Now we're experiencing 40 years, 4 decades. Now we're experiencing population aging. So each and every one of you listening here today, if all goes as planned, you would live up to age 70 and above. And then you find out that the most vulnerable period as young as age 9. So if you start by age 9, the nicotine in the product ensures that you are addicted. Okay? So if you are addicted from age 9 and you live to age 70, how many years is that? Okay? But then you won't live till age 70 because it's associated. So let's roughly estimate from age 9 to 70 is supposed to be 69 years. But then tobacco use has been shown to reduce the lifespan. So assuming you don't live that and you smoke for 40 years and then you die, we need to replenish stock.
Yeah.
So
Do you understand? So if you haven't heard anything today, just remember that they are not, it's an industry, it's a business organization. They're not in it because they love you. They're in it because they need to replace.
Exactly.
8 million people die every year. 7 million from all this tobacco, the cigarettes, the snus, everything. And then 1.2 million as a result of me sitting beside you, second-hand smoke exposure. So the question is not if they will die, it's when they will die. And so they need to replenish.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
You've been saying powerful.
That's powerful. Honestly, yeah.
This is a period where we're dealing with COVID all around the world, and developing countries, we do not have the medical know-how, or do I say the equipment to even cope with this at the rate. I think I checked it yesterday, it was about 9,000, close to, I think 9,800 if I'm not mistaken. And Dr. Cadmus was talking about health implications. The WHO told us about the more likelihood of people with comorbidities to die instantly. So apart from the normal detrimental effect of tobacco, I mean the fact that you can increase your chances of dying as a result of other comorbidities, all those chemicals that were highlighted, taking them into your system. So it's just a total hazard, even considering the time we're in. I think that's why we're exposing tobacco to discourage everybody from smoking at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, before you move on, you said we don't have the technical know-how to treat COVID. We do have the technical know-how, we do have the competence, okay? The only challenge we're facing is infrastructure. Okay? So we can, if we can strengthen our facilities and provide necessary things, then I can assure you we are as good as it gets. But pending that, please let's all abide by the public health interventions that have been proven to work. Social distancing, regular hand washing, sanitizing, use your face mask, you know. So let's not sit down and have this pity party. Oh, we're low income, we don't have anything. We have all it takes, but we can't do it without the public and the necessary infrastructure.
Yes, thank you very much for that. You know, we know that tobacco industry, you know, they're just trying to penetrate. We know that they even try to, you know, work with lobbies to find a way to block every plans of non-governmental organizations and every Ministry of Health also to block their plan in implementing tobacco control laws in Nigeria. And that is one of the major delays that we are having right now. Yeah, this question, we can really prevent youth from tobacco smoking.
All right. The first thing is, this is a good step in the right direction.
Yes.
Okay? So even among the best of public health interventions, no matter how hard you try, some people still will not. And so we will not worry ourselves with that minute proportion. So the major things we should do now is to continue to have this conversation. We've talked about school clubs, we've talked about, you know, the youth, peer pressure is a lot.
Yeah.
So we need to appeal to our policy makers to source the counsel of people that have the technical know-how, for instance. Okay? So all these placements, sort of placements in advertisements, we have to stop it. And one thing that I need to really emphasize, I remember when I was young, I keep on telling, because I lecture and I keep on telling my students, my first encounter with cigarettes was I had uncles that were young and in the university, and in those days, smoking was the next best thing. You know, if you were smoking, you had a swagger.
Yes,
and so you see that reoccurring nowadays with the youth, and you laugh, because the same way culottes and boogie was in vogue, smoking was in vogue, it goes away, then it comes back. Now we're experiencing a fresh wave. And so you cannot deter from the advantage of having parents have that conversation with your children. And don't just have that conversation saying, don't do it. Tell them why. If you don't know why, go online. If you can go online to check the next Ashwebi design, go online to find out information. Doll, a beautiful doll. Put it in a bucket, pour the alcohol on it, and set it on fire. So for an 8-year-old, she said, look at the way this doll is burning. That's how your brain is burning.
Wow.
There could have not been a better imagery.
Wow.
I'm sure it was at age 8 that I became a tobacco control advocate. Because my mother made me realize that if you smoke, you are destroying your body. So you can imagine a doll melting and having. So if your mother tells you something, then you would believe. If your father has that conversation with you, you would believe. You've read, the research shows that if your parents are smokers, then you're more likely to smoke. If your parents have friends that smoke, it's part of making it socially acceptable. And so we must guard against that. The parents, the family, social media, social influence, the schools, and even what we watch, you know.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that. Mommy, I don't know if you are watching, but thank you very much for making this wonderful doctor that we have here into the human being that she is. Because I must tell you, it started when she was 8 years old. And thanks to Mommy. Mommy, we are going to make you an ambassador of CHEASAP. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, you know, you mentioned something about the fresh wave. Then, now, there is a fresh wave right now, and we're talking about shisha. Shisha and e-cigarette. Now, you know, I know that a session of shisha can last for 1 hour, and within that 1 hour, you're taking over 200 sticks of cigarette. So, can you tell us more about shisha and e-cigarette? Is shisha beneficial to our health? Can you tell us so that everybody there would know?
The way you've been saying powerful is the way that I will say thank you for that question. Because shisha is taking over the youth space. You go to parties, you go to events, and you see people gathering around smoking. You know, the industry is innovative. The industry will stop at nothing but to deliver nicotine to you. So whether it's in cigarettes, whether it's in shisha, whether it's in e-cigarettes, whether it's in snuff, whether it's in cigars, their aim is to deliver nicotine to you. And the problem with nicotine is once you get addicted, you know the meaning of addiction. It's not impossible, but it's so difficult. Now, many people think because of the route of delivery of the shisha, you know, you see the water bubbling. It's interesting, it's trendy.
The flavor.
Yes, the flavor.
Different flavors.
And the problem is, even the name, in South Africa, shisha is popularly referred to as bubbly bubbly. You know, can you imagine that kind of name? We're always looking for new names, new nomenclature. So when you say, oh, I'm going to use the bubbly bubbly, you're wondering what is bubbly bubbly. But then shisha is so much more dangerous. Like you said, an hour, which costs how much? It's cheap, and you're wondering. An hour is like smoking 200 cigarettes within that session. Apart from that, you have the filters that you use to smoke it. You know, nowadays because it's a communal activity. So you use, I use, you use, I use. Okay, so especially in this period of COVID, it's a thoroughfare for viral infections. Okay, so they'll come up with innovations like, okay, we have disposable filters. It's still nicotine. It's still going to have the same effect on your body, in your body, as smoking it out. They say, okay, it's smoke. So you people have raised such a fuss about smoking and secondhand exposure. At least this one will not affect everybody else. You still have some secondhand exposure, and then even the vapor. So it's unbelievable. It's amazing that the industry will not relent in their efforts, and And unfortunately, the poor suspecting youth or the public out there. I've spoken to a parent before who didn't know. You know, he didn't know, he just didn't know. And it's so attractive, and he talked about the flavors. Who wouldn't like something vanilla flavor or strawberry flavor? You know, so I heard that, you know,
they have all those flavors there, so you can choose.
And then nowadays I've been to restaurants and the menu, you have a whole page showing you the available flavors and the cost.
You pick anyone.
And instead of eating your food, you're choosing, as you're choosing the food, you're choosing
the shisha.
The shisha, and it's diabolical.
Even if you go to online shopping, you can easily get it there. On Konga, on whatever.
And then another way to actually address this is to call out all these reputable industries like Konga, like Jumia. You said you can get it online, you know.
Yes.
We should call them out. And then I've been to events. I don't want to mention a name because the event managers promised me that subsequent events this will not happen. Or maybe I should mention it to keep them on their toes. I've been to a major event targeted at youth, and they actually collected money from shisha and vendors. Unfortunately, I was there sitting down relaxing with my children, and then a shisha vendor came to set up his stall beside me. Of course, you know I did not let him. I did not stay. You know, so I'm not going to mention the event, but I'm going to watch out. We're watching out this year. If that happens again, it can't even happen again because we're going to have that conversation before that time.
Wow. Shisha and cigarettes, e-cigarettes, you've heard it. You've heard it all. It is not good at all. You know, it is shocking that nowadays shisha is everywhere. If you go to any club right now, shisha is the in thing. You know, it's just there. Anybody can go there and then you get it. And you keep using it, you know, and it's even more dangerous. Like you said, it is more dangerous. Why do we keep using it? I mean, why do people who are addicted to it keep using it? It's because of the flavor, the nicotine in it, the drug, you know, it keeps them addicted and it ties them down. And you know, now I noticed that, you know, in some countries, cigarettes and all these tobacco products, they are high in price. But in Nigeria, you can easily walk to a malam's shop and buy a stick of cigarettes, and then you come out and, of course, you know, and you will notice that people that smoke this cigarette and or whatever tobacco product, they are the poorest of the poor. And so it is a way of slavery. It is a modern day slavery for us here, and that is why we are doing what we are doing now, to make sure that you get to know the tactics of tobacco industry. They are not doing you any favors. It is cheap here so that you can easily buy and kill yourself slowly. And that is just a simple fact. That is just a simple fact. What do you think government can do to prevent youth and children from tobacco smoke? What have we done so far? What do you think we can do more?
Well, the government, unfortunately, they allow the industry to interfere. They allow the industry to compromise all the good work that is being done. You know, so the Tobacco Control Act and the regulations in Nigeria, for instance, as a member of the Tobacco Control Research Group, we've worked with many other organizations, including ERA, which is Environmental Rights Action. And we can regale you with tales of what the industry, they are on the corridors everywhere. As we are lobbying, they are lobbying. Unfortunately, we are lobbying with our pen and paper. They have money. They have money to back anything. You can imagine them sponsoring you to the world to meetings. Will you get there and go and talk against the industry? You know, they stop the mouth of people that should talk. They stop you with money. At times, it might not even be so blatant. It can be subtle, you know. I have one of our very leading advocates, Mr. Olufemi. There was a time he said he just found money in his account, and he was wondering where did this money come from. But later on, he was, so in those days you could just send money. Thank God with BBN now, at least you can trace things.
Yeah.
So the government really has to listen to the technocrats that know what to do, that can advise them accordingly.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't even allow these individuals within the House of Assembly.
And that is against the WHO's Framework Convention on Tobacco Control.
Yes.
That was signed by Nigeria in 2004.
But I'm going to shock you. An individual that was part of the signing is now a major lead in the industry. And I'm not going to mention it. But he knows himself. Do you understand? So
that is how powerful they are and how much they can buy.
They are, but if you're a movie buff, the good guys always win. We are the good guys.
And we
will win, but we can't do it without letting our youth know that you can stop this epidemic, you can stop this pandemic, and this change has to start from you. This tobacco, assuming maybe your parents, some will say, oh, people smoke and they live till young age. But they don't tell you the story of the multitudes that smoke and their life is cut short. You have your future ahead of you. The future is bright. It may seem a little bit bleak now with the COVID, but these too shall pass.
Yes.
So why would you shortchange yourself or short-circuit the brilliance of your future?
So I think the government needs to also work on, in 2015, the Nigerian Tobacco Control bill was passed into law, and now we have the Nigerian Tobacco Control Act of 2015. Section 12 of Nigerian Tobacco Control Act states that tobacco products are banned in selling and in all medias. Sponsorship and advertisement, they are banned on all media, including social media, which is the internet. So I think we need to do more. I'm talking to our government right now when it comes to implementation. Because what we are doing right now, all these things that we still see about the small marketing of the tobacco industry shouldn't be happening, both on the internet, by the people who are even selling it on the internet, and even physically on the street, shouldn't be happening because it is against Nigeria Tobacco Control Act Section 12, subsection 1 specifically. And so we need to do more. Also, what do you think? Is it necessary to increase tobacco tax to will that be effective in curbing tobacco smoking among children and youth and the affected population?
Thank you for that question. Tobacco taxation has been noted to be one of the most effective. One is not the only thing, and unfortunately, because the situation is a dynamic one, we have to have a multi-pronged approach. Now, if you increase the tax, it would make the product more expensive. Okay? And so the youth, if it's you can imagine when Coke goes from 50 naira to 60 naira, they'll be like, for what? So especially for the youth, that has been a known effective approach. But you have to be careful, because if you're not careful, you will increase the tax. The industry will shine and say, oh, there is revenue generation. But it's not, because what they give to the government is not commensurate with what the government eventually will spend in providing health for its populace. Apart from that, if you're not careful, inflation, it has to be reviewed such that if it's expensive, we have a way of adjusting. With time they adjust. So you have to increase the taxes so that the cost will keep on increasing and it will be out of the reach for the youth. So it's a very effective approach.
Yes.
Especially for.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. Now, before we go on, I have a question from online here, from Rena. Okay. She wants to ask this question, and let me just try and get the question out. Reina, okay? Reina said some people who are addicted to taking tobacco find it very difficult to stop. How can we help them? Yeah, one of the ways, I know that in Ibadan we have only one cessation center, and it's in Nigeria. I'm not even sure how many we have. Yes, so what do you think, how can you answer this question? How can we help them? People who want to stop and find it difficult to stop.
All right, thank you, Reina, for that question. And it's the best thing is not to start, because once you're addicted, nicotine ensures that you find it difficult to stop. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. It's very possible. Like you said, it's sad that we don't have a lot of the current trends in assisting individuals to stop. We need cessation clinics. We need quit lines. We need to do more.
Yeah.
We really need to do more. We need the necessary infrastructure, training, and bringing up and supporting advocates to do what is necessary, like motivational interviewing. You know, when you want to stop tobacco use, the best way is cold turkey. Just make up your mind and stop. But you need willpower, and it's difficult. So you can imagine how difficult it is to fast, talk less of nicotine. It's difficult, but it can be done. I'm sure your institution, your organization has some helplines. The Nigerian Tobacco Control Research Group, domiciled in the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, also has, we've successfully managed and assisted people in quitting. Like I said, I'm sorry, Reina, we need to do more, but it's not impossible. It's very possible. But if you go online or you contact the organizations I've mentioned, we should be able to direct you in assisting your friend or whoever wants to quit. It can even be a parent, for all you know. We've had success stories whereby it was the child of the family that brought the father, and you know, and we can say successfully that we documented success in that regard. So it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And there should be more in terms of support. But right now, we don't have enough, and we should do more.
Thank you very much for that. I'm going to tell you, as a drug demand reduction expert, that it's not easy to do that, and it is not something you can do now. It requires a process. It's a process. You may have to go through some forms of therapy and all of that to make sure that you are able to.
When you say therapy, it's scary. So to break it down for the youth, like motivational interviewing,
that's
finding out what
exactly
makes them go there, and the triggers.
Yeah.
And then of course the brain is very powerful. The human mind, you can will yourself to leave, you can will yourself to quit. And some people need assistance, and you can get that. We can provide that support, and it's brilliant that you asked that question, and we're putting it out there.
Yes, thank you very much. So we are doing a lot at Center for Health and Substance Abuse Prevention, and very soon we're going to be starting a training called Universal Prevention Curriculum to let you know the steps you can actually take when you are addicted to some of these substances. And we hope that will help you. But very soon we'll put out that information online. We'll be doing it in collaboration with some organizations, and ISOP in Lagos and Nigeria generally. So by the time we put that out, I'm sure Dr. Cadmus will be informed too, so that we'll get more people to be trained on how to properly talk to people who want to quit, and those people who are already addicted to any substances at all. So thank you very much. I think I have another question here. It says, our music videos, lyrical contents too, are not helping matters, as most heard and played by people in the hood encourage the use of tobacco. Is there a way concerned bodies like ERA can see to it?
like I said, it's amazing how innovative the industry can be. There's a term called placement. You're watching a film and all of a sudden they just zoom on a tobacco or they show an individual smoking and you wonder, what has this got to do with the price of fish?
Yeah.
Same thing, nudity that you see and you're wondering, you're enjoying this music, there's this song that I really love, and I the first time I saw the video I was disappointed, and I don't want to mention right now, but and we can have a conversation later. I was like, you don't need to show smoking. What does this add to the beauty of the film? What does this add to the rhythm of the music? But you know, it's part of the industry's ploy. They won't come, oh, I'm the industry. They go through you. They go through the celebrities.
Yeah.
They go through institutions. They sit at the back,
Yeah.
and they let other people serve as their agents. And unfortunately, these celebrities should recognize the responsibility they have, not to mislead or misguide. You know,
Right.
so it's amazing, and I think the regulatory bodies should do more.
Yeah.
They would say, oh, once you're 18, but there's still so many subtle placements.
Yes.
There's still so many subtle. 18-year-old is still vulnerable. It's still vulnerable. So.
Well, you're right. Oluwatoyin, yeah, the question you asked is that also how can bodies like ERA help? I'm sure you're referring to environmental rights action, right? Yeah, I'm aware that environmental rights action conducted a music competition, for people to, be creative and sing against tobacco smoking. And I know somebody won. Yeah, so organizations like us too and other organizations would encourage tobacco control organizations in Nigeria to do same. Yeah, I think ERA should continue doing that because it is better for us to raise our own role models for people to see than allowing tobacco industry to keep making them smoke models. The people that a lot of our young adults see as role models are actually smoke models for tobacco industry.
Yes.
So we can also create such contests and make sure that we create our own role models that people will see out there and they will give them right information, content that will help them later in life instead of smoking and passing out wrong information. So those
if I may add to that,
yes.
I've had the pleasure of working with ERA. We've collaborated on several projects, and mostly Mr. Bode Olufemi, Philip, my friend, and it's so brilliant. If you can have the academia with the NGOs, with the CSOs, it's not just everybody working in silos, and ERA has done a brilliant job, and I think we all need to do more and do it together,
Yes.
So you know about this Yoruba proverb, if your broomstick can be broken, but if you come together as a bunch,
Yes.
it will be difficult for the industry to penetrate. So I commend ERA, and I really congratulate them for the work they've done, and I'm part of that success because I've worked with ERA, but then I'm calling on all other groups, and there's a body. The CTFK also has a campaign for tobacco-free kids. They also come together and do a lot in providing funding and sponsorship and an enabling environment for many of these organizations to work. And I'm really grateful for that because they funded some of our projects as well.
Yeah, I think I'm aware of that. And really, I want to applaud them for the wonderful job they are doing in Nigeria, campaign for tobacco-free kids.
Yes.
That's CTFK, and of course ERA. Of course, I've worked with ERA too in the past. We started a lot of things together since 2003. So we just want to put out this. Every tobacco control organization in Nigeria, let us come together, because together we can achieve more than when one person is doing this and doing that. Like Dr. Cadmus said, when we come together, it's better because we can throw one blow and the impact will go far. It will go far. So I'm sure the message is passed across. All right. On the last note, right now, there's no more question. What would you like to say to youth who are currently watching you, and parents, your parting words. Before you say something, let me allow Shalom to say one or two things, and what you also want to say to.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Personally, to young people, which is more of my niche, reaching out to them, I feel like many times, as regards every problem, like what we do for COVID-19, the problem is things that are not associated with communicable diseases don't have such loud voices sometimes. When it's a communicable disease like COVID and the rest, that kill more acutely, we have louder voices. So, but these things kill slowly. So what I'm saying is we have to adopt the advocacy. This is not just for specialized organizations. As you listen, as you hear it, Mr. Seye and the rest of the team, each time we go out to reach out to young people, we always have a lot of questions, proving a kind of knowledge gap, that a lot of people do not know sufficiently about this. So I'm calling on everybody who listens to things like this that enlighten you about the dangers of tobacco to also take the word to somebody who smokes and all of that, so that they too can hear. Because when they hear, then they seek help. But they cannot be seeking help if they don't really know the extent of the problem, especially considering the evolution of smoking habits.
Thank you very much for that, Dr. Cadmus.
Alright, so to the youth, I would say, if you have not started, please don't start. If you have started, you need to stop. We can help you. I'm sure at the end we'll have the necessary information. Please don't start. The future is bright. Don't short-circuit your future. The industry is not in need for you. They are in need for the money. For the parents, mothers, please watch over your children. Be in the background. I shared my story. Talk to your children. Have that conversation with them. And fathers do not recognize just how powerful they are. But please be a part of your children's development and have conversations with them. Gone are the days when children were seen, not heard. The children nowadays will demand that you talk to them, and please do talk to your children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cadmus. Well, from me, tobacco industry is not your friend. And that's the truth. What they are doing is to always lure you to start that habit of smoking. And I'm sure you don't want to start. Knowing all the health implications, you don't want to start. And I would advise you, do not start. You can get in touch with CHEASAP on Facebook, like you're watching our CHEASAP, facebook.com/CHEASAP, CHEASAPNG. You can get in touch with us. Then our email address is cheasapng@gmail.com. You can also, on Twitter, is also CHEASAPNG. On Instagram, it's CHEASAPNG. So you can go there and you will see a lot of activities going on there and what we have done. And if you have any question for us, please feel free to check from our social media handles, and we will be glad to answer your questions. All right. Special thank you to everyone who joined us in this live event today. We want to say a very big thank you to you, and especially Dr. Cadmus. Thank you for coming around today. I know it is difficult, and you, out of this COVID-19 stress, you still find time to come around. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you always at CHEASAP, and you are special to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and of course, Shalom. Let's say goodbye to everybody watching us. All right. So till we see you again, guys. Thank you very much.